Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to share my labor and delivery story. It's going to be pretty short, but I'm going to be very precise because I don't want to make it too long. So if you guys want to watch my labor and delivery story, then stay tuned. Okay, so my baby is 2 months already, and I know this story is long overdue, but I've gotten requests on doing my labor and delivery story, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. Like I said, I'm going to try to be very, very short, very precise. Let me tell you that the labor part, I feel like, was the longest for me, but the delivery part by far was like the easiest and the shortest. So my labor started, so my baby was born on a Saturday morning, and my labor started Wednesday night. So Wednesday in the middle of the night, I think I started feeling a little bit of back pain. And I had never even felt what Braxton Hicks was like. So I wasn't sure if it was Braxton Hicks or if it was like contractions. So I kind of like, I wouldn't say I slept through them, but I kind of like, okay, I dealt with them. They were kind of very light back pain. If you guys hear sounds, it's because I have my baby here and he's just like chatting with me. So I felt them in the middle of the night, and I remember I didn't do anything. I just started, I got this app, and it just measured the contractions, and I know they were like very, very far apart. They were about 7, 8, 9 minutes apart. So I was like, okay, nothing to worry about. My water didn't break. I didn't lose my mucus plug because I didn't even know what that was. So, okay, so I started feeling my labor pain, my pain. Small contractions, and then I remember the next day I had my 39-week update, my checkup with my midwife. So I got ready in the morning, and then I told my husband, like I couldn't handle like some of the pain. It was very light, like very uncomfortable back pain. And I said, I think I'm starting labor. And I remember going the next day to my 39-week check, and I told them, you know what, I'm having pain. I think they're contractions. And then they were like, okay, let me check you. I wasn't even dilated. I think I was 1 centimeter dilated. And then she's like, you might just want to go home, relax, take a bath, sleep, because you're gonna need a lot of sleep. And you know what, that's one thing I never understood people. They always told me, sleep, sleep, sleep as much as you can, sleep. Okay, so I come home. Well, I remember that day, my husband and I, we still went to eat because he didn't go to work that day because he wanted to spend the whole day with me just in case I needed to go to the hospital. So they said, if anything, if your water breaks or if your contractions are less than 5 minutes apart, you go to the hospital. And the hospital was 30 to 40 minutes away from us. So my husband was like, no, I don't want to leave you alone. So then throughout the day, I felt the contractions, and I was using the app, and more frequent, more contractions. They were getting stronger. And then so I went all Thursday with contractions. I didn't lose my mucus plug. I didn't have any discharge. I didn't have, my water didn't break or anything. I was just having contractions. So then I was like, okay, I called the hospital and I was like, okay, I'm having contractions. Should I come in? No. Did your water break? So the usual. We're going to send you home. So, and I was like, okay, I don't want to be sent home when we live 30, 40 minutes away from the hospital. So, I was like, okay, I can handle them. So, and I didn't call my mom. I didn't call my sisters. I didn't let anyone know because I was like, I don't want them to worry. They're at work or my mom's at home. I don't want her worrying over me if it's false labor. So I remember Thursday night, I didn't sleep that night at all because I kept having more frequent pain, more back pain, and they were stronger and stronger, and I was like, oh my God, like they were getting strong and painful. So here comes Friday morning, and I had to go get an ultrasound because they had told me that my fluid was kind of low, and to get it checked. So I called and I was like, you know what, I don't think I'll make it to my ultrasound because I am feeling pain, I'm feeling contractions. So then I called the hospital, and then they told me, okay, you might want to come in. And I said, I don't want to be sent home because we don't live so close to to the hospital. So then they're like, okay, come in, we'll check you. So then as soon as I get to the hospital, I think I was like 2 centimeters dilated, and my pain was more frequent. My contractions were like 5 to 6 minutes apart, and they were getting stronger and stronger, and they kept me there, and they said, we might have to send you home. This could be false labor. And I was like, oh, I don't want to go home, because the pain was getting more and more intense. So they were like, okay, we'll do some lab. We don't know if you're dehydrated. We'll check. So then they were like, they came back, and I was at the hospital for, I think we got there like around 10 in the morning. And then like at 1 o'clock, they were like, okay, we're going to admit you. And because my contractions were getting more and more frequent, and they were getting stronger, but my water didn't break. I didn't have my mucus. I didn't lose my mucus plug. I wasn't even what do you call it? Oh my goodness. What is it? Huh? Oh my God, I can't think of the word. But there were no other signs of labor but my contractions. That was it. And I was only 2 centimeters dilated. So they're like, okay, we're going to put you in another room. And I remember they put the IV on me. And you guys, I still feel that pain from the IV. It's 2 months after, and I still feel the pain from the needle. So I remember they put me in the room. And I remember people just came in checking on me. They were like, okay, let's see how dilated you are. And I wasn't progressing that fast. So they kept me in the room, and they gave me a little bit of potassium. And then they were like, we'll see what happens. And I remember, when they switched me to the room and they said, we're going to admit you. I remember I called my mom and I said, Mom, I'm at the hospital. So I don't think you want to come in right now, because it's going to be very, very like a long labor, like seriously long labor. And so I remember once I told my family, they were all there for support. And I really appreciate all my sisters and my brother and my mom coming, because that really helped me a lot. But let me tell you guys, as soon as my family got there, they didn't see the best side of me, because, kid you not, I never ever want to experience that kind of pain. I feel like I can tolerate pain, but I honestly could not tolerate the contractions. My contractions were so strong and intense and painful. I honestly felt like running away. Like I couldn't handle the pain. But I did not scream, and I did not cry. I only cried when I saw my baby for the first time. So the pain was very, very, very intense. And I remember it was like at night, like 10 o'clock at night, the pain was so intense. And I was like, when am I going to get an epidural? And they were like, well, not yet, because the anesthesiologist, she's busy. She's doing other ones that are, closer to having their baby. And I was like, okay, I guess I can handle it. And they even gave me oxygen. What else? It was just intense. And I remember having some midwives come in and checking to see how dilated I was. And I won't forget this one midwife. You guys, I've never been in such intense pain when she checked me, because they have to go behind the baby's head. I just remember, this is the only bad part I remember about my labor and delivery, is that this midwife, like seriously, she stuck her whole hand up there. I felt her digging up there, and she was like, I need to get to the back of the baby's head. I don't feel anything. You haven't dilated anything. And I swear, you guys, I wanted to kick this lady in the face. I seriously wanted to kick her in the face. It was so painful. My tears were just rolling down my face. I was just like, oh my God, get this woman out of me. Get her hand out of me. And I remember the nurse saying, you need to calm down and handle it, because I kept closing my legs. I couldn't stand the pain. And I remember the nurse was like, you need to let her. This is for your baby's safety, and we need to check how dilated you are. And I was like, I felt those seconds, hours. I really wanted to hit this lady. I swear if I would have had shoes, I would have kicked her with my shoes. But that's the only bad thing I can think of, my labor and delivery. So this was, my baby was born on a Saturday. So this all went on Friday. And like at, let's see, what time? Like around on Saturday already. Like I went through the labor pain until Saturday. On Saturday, no. I went through my labor pain until like 12 midnight, almost Saturday. They gave me the epidural, but I could still feel my contractions. I could still feel a lot, and they even put a catheter on me because supposedly you can't walk once you have an epidural. So then I remember they were like, okay, she's dilated, like around 1 or 2 in the morning, she's dilated. And and I could still feel the pain. It was so intense, you guys, even if I had an epidural. What else happened? Let's see. So my baby was born at 9 in the morning on Saturday, and I remember that this midwife, the one I tell you about that stuck her hand all the way up there, she shows up in the middle of the night. And once I saw her, I was like, I had told people, I don't want this lady around me. I don't want to see her anymore. I don't want her near me, because my midwife could not make it. So it had to be her and some other one to deliver my baby. So I was like, I do not want that lady near me. I do not want her around me. I do not want her in my room. So she comes in, and I was like, I just look at my husband and my mom, because they were the only ones that were allowed to be in the delivery. My mom and my husband, only 2 people. And I remember I told them, I don't want her. And she came in and she broke my water. And she was like, okay, she's 10 centimeters dilated. So I was just like, oh my God, I don't want to see this lady. Get her out of here. And then I remember like around 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning on Saturday, they were like, okay, you know, since you're a first time that you're gonna have a baby, it's gonna probably take a long time to deliver this baby. And then it was like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I had a midwife come in and check me, and she was like, oh, you know, this is gonna take a long time. So, you know, we were just practicing pushing with the nurse that was in there. And I remember that the nurse was like, okay, keep pushing. Like if you're going to the bathroom, like if you're doing number 2, keep pushing. And then she was like if you're underwater, like, you know, just push. And then I remember it was like around 8:30, and she was like, okay, stop. And then she was like, okay, push. And she's like, okay, it's gonna take a while. So it was just my mom, myself, my husband, and the nurse. And I remember I was just like, you know, practicing pushing. And here she's like, here is like 8:50, 8:55. And she was like, push. And then she's like, help, I need help. I need someone in here right now. And then, like, I guess the midwife, she was busy with another baby, because in the video, I could hear her saying, this baby wanted to come before your baby, but I never thought that you were going to have your baby before, because you're a first time having a baby. So supposedly we take longer. What's the matter? You want to be part of the story? Yeah? Okay. So then I was like, and then she's like, okay, give a last push. And you guys, I delivered the baby, and the midwife was not there. So when she said give that last push, they were like, okay, the head came out, and she was like, help, I need someone in here. And so then I see the midwife running in, and she delivers the body, but I had delivered the head and half the body. And then she came in, and she was like, oh my God, I can't believe how fast you did it. You really surprised us for being a first time mom, you know, like we usually supposed to be like taking longer. But she was like, I can't believe you delivered your own baby. And so yeah, it was, to me, I didn't feel pain at all, but the most wonderful feeling was having my baby on my chest. We did skin to skin for 2 hours, which was amazing. And another amazing thing was that we did the delay clamping of the placenta. So what that is like, we don't cut as soon as the baby is born. We don't cut the umbilical cord as soon as the baby is born. We wait for the placenta and the umbilical cord to stop pulsating. So supposedly we do that because the baby gets more vitamins and more oxygen from the placenta, because the placenta still has 30 to 40% more vitamins and nutrients that the baby needs before it stops pulsating. So we did the delayed clamping, and she even like had me feel it and touch it. She's like, do you still feel it moving, or pulsating, the cord? And I said no, and she's like, okay, so we're ready to cut. So as soon as they did that, my husband cut it. And yeah, we were in, we did skin to skin for 2 hours. So we were in the recovery room for 2 hours with my husband, myself, the baby, and my mom. So I got to do 2 hours of skin to skin, which was amazing, because the baby like directly was looking for food, and he directly, instantly, I should say, he instantly looked for my breast, and I instantly fed him. So it was an amazing feeling. I'll put some pictures after the video so I could share a few pictures with you guys. So yeah, that's my labor and delivery story. Like I said, you know, I thought it was gonna be like horrific or super painful, which it was, but let me tell you, I don't know, like I feel like it was painful, but it's an experience I will never forget. It was like one of the best experiences of my life that I'll never forget, because I have this cutie over here that he just wants to be part of the video, because you were part of the video the whole time, right? You want to be part of the video? Do you want to be part of the video? Agoo. Agoo. So yeah, that's my labor and delivery story. So yeah, and we got to go home. So my baby was born on a Saturday, and Sunday in the afternoon we were going home. So everything was right, everything was perfect. My baby weighed 7.3, so 7 pounds 3 ounces, and he was 19.5 inches long. So yeah, healthy baby and a healthy mom. So we got to go home the next day, and yeah, it was a great experience, and that's my labor and delivery. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys did, give it a thumbs up. And if you guys would like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.